What is going on, YouTube people? Today, uh, kind of a sad one. I mean, this is just these types of videos are not fun to make. Ace grading, which you may or may not have heard of, or you might be thinking about, why the hell are you talking about Ace grading? What kind of random grading company is this? They're based in the UK, and they've actually done a decent amount of volume compared to the pop-up grading companies over here in the States, which makes sense. Overseas grading to PSA, CGC, SGC, Beckett is not the easiest. You have to deal with customs nonsense, long shipping times, the whole nine yards. A lot of grading companies are trying to make it easier by doing UK offices or drop off things and things like that. But regardless, grading overseas is tricky. So Ace Grading had a pretty decent foothold over in the UK. They do show some soccer cards on here. I believe a bulk of their stuff was TCG. They did a lot of volume in the Charizards and the Pikachus. Well, the other day, I actually was planning on covering this yesterday, but then the Beckett news came up. Randolph Pokemon, who I believe is the owner of Ace Grading, posted this video where the grading company was broken into. I'd recommend you go check out the video for the full chit chat about it. They also released a statement here. The long and short of it is their offices were busted into. He does not say it in the video, but there are some very telling things. They even kind of mention it in the statement here, that they said that this felt very targeted, as in the video itself, he mentions like they have a lot of security in place and whoever robbed them managed to evade all of it and kind of knew exactly where to go and where not to go and know where to look for things. And not all the cards were stolen, but it sounds like a chunk of them were. And I imagine that they probably knew where the higher value stuff was stored. So this sounded extremely targeted, which immediately, and I'm sure 5 people have already typed it, everyone runs to inside job. And in this case, my gut, everything I listened to and read, I could see it. It makes a lot of sense on this one. Now, do I think, and I don't know these people at all, do I think this owner was involved? Based off the video, maybe I'm a sucker. Maybe he's a really good actor. I don't think so, but I think he said they have 25 employees. So this is not, like I said, this is not some one-man band working out of a garage. Now, could one of the employees have done something? That's a whole different story. You have 25 people working for you. Who the hell knows? Maybe someone accidentally said something. Maybe it wasn't even an employee. Maybe they brought someone into the office for something, for a tour, for an interview. Who knows what? Maybe if they were targeted that specifically, maybe someone posed as, working for the cleaning company. Who knows? There's all sorts of ways people could get in there for legitimate reasons that don't work there. But regardless, it sounds like this was well scouted, well planned, and maybe had the inside hookup from someone, or at least had access to the building at some point in time to be able to scout everything out, because how would you know how to evade all the security systems and know exactly where to go for the cards and get all that stuff and get out not caught. Now, props to them. They immediately sent emails to all the affected customers. I believe they were reaching out to some people via phone. I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit and comments in different groups about people complaining about the payout values. I think where, at least some of the ones I saw, where the rub came down to is they were using raw card values. And I don't know, I've never submitted with Ace. I don't know how their declared value and stuff like that works. But essentially, they were offering raw card values on cards submitted in. And it seemed like people were upset about that. The problem is if they're not graded yet, you can't assume a gem mint grade and whatever that would do to the value of the card. I don't know what an Ace Gem Mint 10 sells for compared to a raw card, but regardless, you can't assume the 10, so they're getting offered raw card value back. Like I said, maybe that's how their declared value works until it's graded. I don't know how their insurance stuff works. The owner here also makes it sound like they may not survive this, having to pay all this out, the reputation hit, all that stuff combined together could potentially be a death blow for the company overall. Now, a lot of people in the comments do say they've already sent more cards in. A lot of donations came in and things like that. They do seem to be well liked. This video has quite a few views on it, 154,000, and you can scroll through here. There are super chats all over the place, or whatever the comment version of a super chat is. So a lot of people seem to be throwing their financial support behind him, and a lot of comments saying I'm boxing up an order to send it in now. Because once again, I don't know in the UK if they have a lot of great alternative options for grading. I'm not familiar with the grading market on that side of the pond. Someone could sound off in the comments down below if you are. Feel free to educate the audience a little bit if you live in that world. So I could see how they would get a lot of community support if they are the best option over there for people to use. And like I said, they've graded a decent chunk of cards. I reached out to GemRate and he glanced real quick. He didn't do any hard math on it, but he said roughly it looked like they had about 1 million cards on their pop report. That's not nothing. That's a decent chunk of change on a pop report compared to some of the smaller grading companies that we have over here. So overall, this absolutely sucks for everybody involved. It sucks for the grading company, especially if they had proper security protocols in place. Now, did they not? I have no idea. I don't work in their office. It sounds like they did, if you want to take that at face value, but it sounds like something went sideways on the inside. It sucks for anyone that submitted. And, this gets back to make sure, obviously there is a transactional log of what you sent, but if something like this happens, now it's a little bit trickier on cards, especially non-serial numbered, like in Pokemon TCG, but document what you're sending in as best as you possibly can. I don't know if Ace does pre-scanned images like PSA does, but I had issues with PSA back in the day, and my big recommendation from that is video all your orders. Take pictures of all your orders. Do something to document it. Do not rely on just the grading company and the piece of paper to document your grading submissions. I recommend recording a grading company preview submission video or whatever you want to call it, even if you're not actively posting video on social anywhere. I do that video every time I send a PSA. I'm about to record one. I have an order getting ready to go to PSA, and I'm getting ready to record that video. And I do that as much as, it's 50% content for the channel, and it's also 50% of documentation of exactly what I sent. If something goes wrong with that order at the grading company, whether that's damage or stolen in transit on the way there or on the way back, I at least have visual evidence that, hey, that Jackson Merrill numbered to 125 is mine. Here's a video of me sending it off to the grading company. Why is it showing up on eBay or wherever if it gets stolen on the way to the grading company? You got to protect yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. To the best of your ability, you have to take care of yourself. There's been a big topic du jour this week has been theft at card shows. That could probably be its own separate video. People and entities and businesses will put some layers of protection out there to help, but ultimately you have to take some personal responsibility as much as you possibly can. Now, in a case like this, you can't go sit at Ace's, grading room and watch your cards go through, but it might help things out if you had good documentation on what you sent in along with potentially video. So once again, this sucks for all parties involved. I do not enjoy making these types of videos. We'll see if Ace is able to rebound from this with community support, or if the payouts / PR hit from this doom them. Maybe it's a rallying cry for their customer base. Maybe a lot of people run away and hide. I think it could be more the payouts. I don't know what their insurance situation is. You would think they would have something to help cover that, but I don't know if insurance would pay out the full market value of the card. So they might be stuck eating the difference if they want to make things right with their customers. So we'll see how things play out. If you had cards wrapped up in this, once again, feel free to sound off in the comments down below and let me know what the experience has been like so far dealing with this whole situation. I hope everyone is made square. I hope the people that did this are caught. That is all I got for you, boys and girls. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Catch you on the next one. Peace.